Good morning. Guten Morgen. We are here at the official Apollo Weather Center, run by Bob Dylan. You don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows and what is going on at the Weather Center today. Maybe we can ask the mushrooms. Maybe the mushrooms will let us know. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yep, there's my little. That's my one piece of. I'm not a jewelry person, but these are my little African animals. Here I am at the remnants of my life. And I am on the bus. Solidarity to Solutions. And it's hard. It's hard because has anyone ever seen the film The Ruling Class? There are two films I keep thinking of as I'm here. And they're both British. Isn't that interesting? They're both 60s British films. And the other one is Oh Lucky Man. And if you haven't seen Oh Lucky Man, I'm sorry. The whole film Oh Lucky Man is like this wild kind of inside joke. Emergency is right. And the steel workers, would they be utterly horrified or what? And yeah, especially with the word workers, of which you don't really see many in these parts, right? We're in progressive land. It's the land of the shirker, not the worker. And what is it? Is that a Puerto Rico or is that something else, Rico? Maybe it's Puerto Rico. Woo woo. The other film is The Ruling Class. I don't know if you've seen that one or not, with Peter O'Toole. Oh Lucky Man is Malcolm McDowell of Clockwork Orange. Oh, okay, we've got a little legal sign here, so they do know what a crime is, okay. Oh. And demand our right to travel to Cuba. Oh. Oh, that was the child whose mother drowned trying to leave Cuba. That is right. So The Ruling Class, if you haven't seen it, it starts off as a comedy, and you're in this, Lord of the Manor, library. It starts out, very upper. I don't know what L&G is. Just like this very. Here's another one of my little remnants I've hung up to try to remind myself of other days. There's little Ganesh. There's another good book to read. The Book of Ganesh by V.S. Naipaul. It's a hilarious, very funny short story he wrote. And The Mystic Masseur. That's right, The Mystic Masseur. And which is almost kind of like a San Blas kind of story. It's very fun. But we're on The Ruling Class right now, and so in The Ruling Class, it starts off where you're in this wonderful British, gorgeous, upper crust library, and suddenly in walks a naked guy, except for a little loincloth, and uh, he looks like Jesus. He's like naked with a beard, and he's dragging a giant cross, or he might just be on it in the beginning, crucified in the library. Fake crucified. It's not a horror film. But you see this, kind of naked Jesus crucified live guy in the library. And, it's kind of very, you realize, that he's the Lord of the Manor, and he's kind of this wild madcap, probably acid ingesting, guy, and he's, being Jesus, and it's funny. Like, the whole thing is very funny. So, you know, this guy runs around, and he's like naked and like Jesus, and it's just funny. What an anachronism it is, that he's the Lord of the Manor, blah blah blah. And then he has a girlfriend at some point, and they're kind of funny and being silly and going through the garden, and this kind of thing. And then at the end, he has then the end is very creepy. The end is, I used to wonder where my ex was, and now I see all the tickets. Like when I was pregnant and stuff, and he was on the road. Now I know he was like at Burning Man. I think I saw tickets to the Grand Canyon, probably Disneyland. So there was this, what was it? So then, at the end of the film, he is suddenly, nothing is funny, nothing is fun. He's very much the Lord of the Manor, and he's in the top hat and doing the whole I am the Lord of the Manor kind of thing. And then you realize there's a Jack the Ripper kind of element to it, and I think at the end he's slashing the girlfriend's throat. And that is what it feels like here. Like, I'm on the bus on the property of my ex, and when I had the baby, he just went into this kind of full party mode, and I'm just fun, and I was like, hey, I just had a baby, like, I need rest. And it wasn't like it was parties every night. It was parties 24/7. I would come out into the living room, woken up as if I ever got to sleep by people. They like partying at 5, 6 a.m. It was that's the real VIP one, is when, and then there would just be, there was never a moment of silence. I would have given anything, as if I had anything to give, for one moment of silence. And when I would tell him, hey, I was in the hospital 11 days, I really need just a minute here, I came home to people. And when I came home, no one even said congratulations. I just got dirty looks and people standing in my way in the doorway, as if I wasn't even there, and I was holding a baby. And I remember people I knew very well standing and just blocking the doorway. I found out later that one of the women blocking the doorway had just had an abortion, so maybe she was like mad someone had a baby or something. I don't know. Like maybe they just only are nice to you and give you congratulations if you have an abortion. I just don't know. Nobody forgot, and that's because I was never remembered in the first place. So, I had to flee so I could just get rest. I had to flee here when she was like 4 months old just so I could get a night's sleep. And now that I'm back here, and that was what I was concerned about was, oh God, it's just going to be noisy there all the time. No, now it's the opposite. Now my ex doesn't want anyone in the house. He just wants to be an ATM collecting rent from people. Everyone living here is like a little mouse that just go onto their buses and then pee in jars. And if they've really got to poo, maybe go down to McDonald's to poo or something. They'll go in the house real quick to like get some, juice out of the fridge or whatever. But he's on this whole trip of, I need my space. I need my space. I need peace and quiet. I can't think, And I'm taking the dog to the pound because he barked. And I'm thinking, what? What? How can this be? How can this be? Donald Trump, who, he's of course got dump Trump stuff all over inside. He has a dump Trump face diaper for those who wore face diapers back in the COVID days. And all he wants is silence now. Like he's got new people here, right, that don't even know what he was like then. So now he can be like, because he deals with, like evergreen students or, people like that. So, and he kind of likes that because then you can, there's no past, right? It's the narcissist playing field. There's no real past. He's got one friend here that's staying here now, but that guy was never around then. So, where's our gas chamber of commerce? I just wonder who has all the money to print these things up. They're all ruling class, right? Like, who else? I've never made a sticker in my life. And they all just come from all these different, and here's a media convergence thing where all the non-profs get together. I think I looked up like 4,000 non-profs at Olympia once. And it's like and that's how Soros was able to make the money. They say it's one thing to get your nest egg. He got his nest egg turning in Jewish families, and he himself was a Jew, and he turned in other Jews. And then he got all that money, but you can get a big pile and it can just go. But the way he was able to keep his money going was through non-profs, because if you start a non-prof, and he was able to do it on a bit bigger scale, 10 million, you start your non-prof, and then after that, you're able to get government money. So a lot of that's why he really was so into, oh yeah, angry people in Detroit. Let's make a thing. Being great. Yeah, and he's got a lot of these mean things suck when, like, I can't think of anyone meaner. That's why, it's so weird. Is that why they're so after Trump? Because he's like a nice guy. Trump would never have remotely done the things he did to us. Oh my God. And yet there's these weird fizz and roots to see. It's just, oh my God, it's just the level of hypocrisy. The level of hypocrisy is just, and they don't even see it. I think there's a luxury to it. I don't know if you've read Ken Kesey or not, but there's this really great book he wrote. It's a good little film too, but the book was just incredible, where he's talking about, this guy. I think he had tried to commit suicide at Yale, and he's, in this kind of um, mental hospital out east or something. But it starts off saying, is there some point where the completely insane person knows, where they know that what they're doing is completely insane, right? And they just are being a pain in the butt. And that's how I feel about this. Is there at some point, this knowledge of, yeah, I was loud, I was obnoxious, I never let my baby have a night of sleep. And if the mother ever said anything, I would just say, I would just scream that she was using the baby as a weapon, or something like that. Just anything to have absolutely. I never got one word of compassion. Never one word of, oh, you must be tired. Oh my God, you went through this pregnancy. You just had a baby. Maybe you shouldn't have to just be up all night listening to all of my friends drink stupid beer and be dumb and horrible and then just be mean to you and just have you be the silent maid. So, oh, lucky man. Oh, ruling class. No, oh, lucky man is a different one. It's a little bit different, and we should have like a little film review thing, huh? Oh, lucky man. I don't know if there's any luck in it. That's what's so funny. Is different, and maybe we'll talk about that too. But how about let the mother live? Oh my goodness! Wow. Look at that. Immigrants welcome, but not the mother of your child. Not the mother of your child. There is nothing there for her. Nope. And all this stuff about feminists, but see, they're all just screaming, and that's what he had here. I remember I went out to the garden to hide one morning because we had someone like her staying here, and it was a woman who was actually running for president of the United States. And I remember she followed me out to the garden and said, "Why aren't you inside making coffee for me?" I don't even drink coffee. And I was like, wow. So I don't know how I wound up in the position of the Rodney Dangerfield of the progressive class. And I had a friend here who stayed here once, and he said he realized that progressives are the children of country club goers. And he said they're the most Republican people I've ever seen. This was pro-Trump. This was when Republicans were just kind of do nothing. Country club people. And they were bad neighbors here. The police used to get called a lot because of the noise. And they never get called now because our ruling class guy's gone into Jack the Ripper mode as opposed to naked Jesus mode. Oh, wow. So, yes, I am getting ready to start an independent learning contract at the silliest school in America. And, and I'll let you know how that goes. Yep, and everyone here is silent. They're all just little mice on the landowner's land, living in the little buses. But I'm going to a motel later today, so militarism. And who's that? Is that Buffy? Oh, that's Buffy St. Marie. Is that the Native American lady that they found out isn't Native American? Is that Buffy St. Marie? I think that might be her. I think they just finally stripped her of everything. But I could be wrong. That could be someone else. But each one of these has a bunch of ideologic and money behind it. www dot. Sometimes I go and look these things up. It's just wild. You know, just how many of them there are. Yep. Just how many of them there are. The Northwest Alliance. And what is the CR10 thing? You know, abolish the prison industrial. And yet these are the people that ran out and got the vax right away, that are saying how bad these corporations are, the gas chamber of commerce. There's something hilarious about these people. They've got the peace sign, but they also got their little, it's nuts. It's completely insane. Oh my God. I love you guys so much. I love your sanity, and I thank you all. I thank you all for being you. Many blessings.